3, 2, 1.
Go! Go!
Yeah.
All right, Ben. Man, what are you up to today, Ben?
Well, today I ate some bad Chinese last night, so I didn't go to work today because it was just killing my stomach. But I recovered enough to do some help with my boy jiu-jitsu class, his stand-up boxing class for kids. Since it's summer and in California, we're opening up restrictions a little bit more around here. I go help him do some footage so he can do promotions for his gym. And then I did lifting and cardio today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, Ben, where are you based at? Where are you training out of right now?
I am training out of, for jiu-jitsu at Modesto Power. Shout out to Chewy and Judo Jake. For stand-up and a lot of my kickboxing sparring, Central Valley MMA. They're both out in the 209 Stanislaus County. For those international listeners, I'm about 90 minutes east of San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Yes, I'm in the Central Valley, so I'm actually where Filipino martial arts really originated on the West Coast, next to Stockton.
Okay.
For all the stick fighting geeks out there like myself.
Well, cool. Yeah, so I Ben and I are friends on Facebook. I'm not sure exactly how we met, but I'm glad we did because your memes pick me up every week.
Thank you. I have some good ones, and you haven't even seen the really juicy ones I have like stored in my phone.
Oh, don't get me kicked off Facebook. I need it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You know, even if it's 2 people liking my shit post, I'm like, you know what? I do it for them.
But like I like how you make martial arts pretty fun. You use a sense of humor, and I don't know. I think we get a little too starchy in the martial arts sometimes. It's like, you know, it's no excuse not to open up now. So I appreciate that.
Well, here's the thing. It's the dudes who still are mad about high school. I've never once that, like, you meet these guys, they want to be alphas, they're mad about high school. Half the time they're divorced, and it's like I can see why.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, it's like you're still mad about something. And I tell people, you need therapy time, not mat time. And people mat time, like, no. You need to see a shrink.
Yeah.
You need to see a shrink for all our sake, because I'm sick and tired of everyone else's goofy memes that they take themselves seriously, or the inspirational quotes underneath the sweaty gym selfie or jiu-jitsu. Like, I know what you're doing, bruh. So
right.
I'm in it too, but at least I'm very, very self-aware about it.
Yeah, right. It's like you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
I've seen the county social workers. They've analyzed me, so you know.
Oh, nice.
It's better than
nothing. Well, yeah, I'm sure martial arts can be therapeutic, but sometimes you just got to talk to somebody. Somebody that's talked to people like you before.
Yeah. And then it's culty. And I'm like, why are you like this? Like, most people aren't making money off of this. So I realize it's the power. People are addicted more to the power than the money. Although the money comes after, but that takes a while. But the power is immediate. You get someone to sign up, call you master for an hour. 3
Sweet.
to 4. That's addicting. I assume addicting. It makes me cringe. I tell kids, like, when I teach at the rec center, I say, just call me Ben. Or I'm like, if your parents insist, Mr. Ben, whatever.
Right. When I teach, I make everybody call me master, but I make them do it like the Metallica song. They have to say, master,
Yeah!
master of puppets and pulling your strings. And then they ask a question. They have to do that. They have to do that every time. Because you have to make them, like, really uncomfortable when they ask you a question, so they won't do it. And they won't find out you don't know nothing at all. That's how I run my dojo. That's how I keep the money coming in. That's how I keep the people. You got to make them think you know something they don't.
As my boy said, all martial arts after 1997 is a multi-level marketing scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. And I get email, like, it's funny. I predicted online certs would be a thing. Like, about a year ago, I'm like, nah, this is going to be online certifications. For rank, it's going to be a thing. And they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, then COVID happened. And, like, now I get emails all the time. Hey, get certified under our 15-week. And I have no problem with that. But it's like, I called it. and I predicted everybody who knew COVID dragged martial arts into the 21st century technology-wise.
Okay.
I mean, look.
All right. Go ahead. I want to hear more.
Okay, so it's like, I predict VR training. Okay, so you can't spar with people, VR sparring. I mean, you already do it for Nintendo Wii. Somebody will eventually make it better. It's where you're getting a sweat, you can see pulse. Like, I got laughed at my gym saying, you know what, why aren't we investing in VR for MMA? Why aren't we doing it?
So do you wear like a collar around your neck that chokes you to simulate the actual grappling experience? Because that could be interesting in several ways.
Although I'd rather pay single moms to do that, but that's neither here nor on OnlyFans.
Hey, they're providing a service and they deserve to be compensated. They deserve to be compensated.
What is it? What did my 10th grade teacher say? Economics is buying a product or the buying or selling of a service. So yes, there you go. But yes, I predict it's all on like streaming services. You can't teach private lessons all the time without getting burnt out, but you can upload videos. Video teaching is the new thing. It used to be a joke back in the day. Like if you learned from VHSs, although I used to be in like rec center Taekwondo and they used to give us VHSs. Here's the forms. You go to the auditorium every 3 months and you do point sparring and it worked. I mean, what's the big deal? I have no problem with distance learning. I've done it because I'm a single dad on a budget. I'm in the middle of rural California. So yeah, I have no problems with it. And now since I've been doing a lot more Zoom, it works. Zoom works. That's all I have to say.
Well, tell me about that. You actually just had a Zoom class after your other job, right? How was that?
Well, so I just, through my boy Dylan Aga, Action Martial Arts, and Dr. Brian Swopes, they have a good, and whoever's listening, I'm walking to get my kid cheese pizza at the supermarket right before they close. Dad life never ends. So, no, he taught everything in a good curriculum. Like, he broke it down so well. If you have a good teacher that knows how to teach, it shouldn't be a problem if it's online learning or not. And the thing is, a lot of fighters don't know how to teach. I know guys who are great, can stomp my face in, but they don't know how to transfer the knowledge. So the old Adam is true, fighters don't make the best teachers. It's true. So I say for Zoom, guys who weren't the most technical fighters, they can pass down the knowledge so well and safely around the world. I've seen one Zoom class for stick fighting. Some guy got up at 4 a.m. in Indonesia to practice with guys on the East Coast. It was crazy. So yeah, and I have a lot of friends right now. And I'm going on a long tangent. I hope you don't mind. I have a lot of friends freaking the hell out right now because their businesses are all shutting. Like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, online streaming. It's the only way to go. It's the only way to keep your business afloat, or at least to break even for right now.
Yeah.
So I do, like, a lot of guys aren't, like, you have to embrace Zoom right now because of the pandemic. It's changed the world.
I think.
How are you guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we need to embrace it, but I think anybody knows has got to understand that there are limitations, but there's special benefits. For instance, you go to a class once a week and you see a teacher demonstrate one time, you can't rewind. How well did you really retain that knowledge?
You really didn't. And that's the crazy thing about Eskrima. Like, eventually you realize, oh, it's universal. Boxing, it's pretty universal. You'll get different flavors from different schools, but it's the same things. So if you do enough of it, like in person, I would say Zoom is not for technically beginners, it's for intermediate. Once you have the knowledge down, Zoom is.
That's a very good point, Ben. I actually do Zoom wrestling, and we
How
do a lot.
How's that working?
Well, So we do a lot of shadow wrestling exercises, and then I break it up with intermittent calisthenics to, like, in case some kids have a better imagination than others. But if you've never actually wrestled, they just do this, right? And then, but the kids that have actually wrestled, they know, oh, I got to keep my elbows in, I got to keep my head up. But until you get your face shoved into the mat, those are just words. So you can tell right away the kids that haven't had that yet. So I understand that limitation. So I try to just keep them moving. The ones that are spazzes, I just try to make them move the whole time. And I think, I mean, they seem to like it. I just been doing it with friends I used to be in the Navy, and they're on the Navy base, their kids. But I'd hope to like expand it and even have other people. But, you know, with kids, I don't necessarily want to let everybody in. You know, some people just like watching kids, you know. So.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I like jumping in there and doing it. So, like I said, I've only done the Zoom twice for stick fighting. I haven't done it yet for empty hand, but I'm super excited to. Like, honestly, what I do now is I look up, like, there's so many Zoom class, and they're half off. Like, they're like a third less of in-home or in-gym training. And I'm thinking, this is the future to save overhead. Now what you can do is you can teach out of your garage, and the people that can't show up, you can just have them learn on Zoom. Like,
one question though, Ben. So if there's more people that can provide this service, do you feel like the person taking the lessons, you know, with more people providing the service, there's more possibility for bullshit. So
yes.
Do you think that this is a danger or something that you can be mindful of in any way?
Well, here's what I did. I talked to a lot of old, like, guys who trained in like the late 80s, early 90s and stuff. And like they rip on it hard. And I'm like, as long as you guys like hold the line and have a low tolerance for it, it's not going to flourish. It's like, I tell older guys, you can either complain about technology, embracing martial arts, or you could set the standard for it and make sure of quality control. So I tell, and I can't do it. I haven't been doing it that long, and this is a new thing, but the older guys can say, like, he knows what he's doing. That guy doesn't know what he's doing. So eventually, the older guard, I think, should embrace it and just start picking up on it. It's kind of like where Grandpa knew a lot about how to fix cars, but he doesn't know how to set up TiVo. So it's like, but once he does, he gets all his favorite shows. So
yeah, he's like this TiVo's sweet.
Yeah,
you can watch all those shows about fixing cars.
Just wait. You're going to get so many newsletters about online, one, testing for rank online, at least to a certain extent, and two, online classes. So that's going to be the new thing from now on. And a lot of people are going to just have to get on board. And the older you get, like I said, your body deteriorates, but your online, your stream classes, that's passive income.
Okay.
I tell my friends, passive income. You bring that ish in. That way, when you don't want to enter the gym, you just charge. Like, and they're not. I know some guys who like charge only like $15 a month, $10 a month, and you get a lot. And I've invested in a lot of it because I was just bored. That's what I blew like a small portion of my stimulus on, was just I bought hell of my friends online tutorials because I wanted to support them.
Oh, and you bought them tutorials.
I bought their tutorials. So I bought my boy
okay.
from Libre Fight. I bought his empty hand dirty boxing tutorial. I checked out one of the Dog Brothers online tutorial. Oh yeah, so I've been scoping the online through the whole COVID because I was just bored. There was nothing to do. It's sad to say this pandemic was so much fun for my martial arts footwork. I had nothing but time.
But you still practice it, right? I mean, you could still find a body that you can actually do it with, right? I mean, I think that's pretty important, right?
Well, not for a while because it was forbidden here in the state. You couldn't, like, you were not supposed to. So I had to take everything I already knew and just adjust it until it felt right. And that's all I did. I'm like, oh, this feels right. Oh, I'm bending my spine too much. Oh, my knees aren't bent enough. I would go to, okay, this feels right. And like I said, it's like prison. You have nothing but time, but just to box. And you get, I came out of here, I'm like, why is my sparring sucking so much? I'm like, oh, I'm dropping my hands. My footwork's too blocky. And so I would just study the video lessons and I would just get better. So when I came right out of quarantine, I would just be tagging. I worked on my jab for nonstop for 6 weeks. There was nothing else to do. Now, when I watch my videos, I'm not irritated by my performance. I'm like, I'm pretty good. And even other people said, you've gotten better just from video lessons. So I can personally attest, but I'm obsessed with it. If you have acid, it's just going to be like doing it in person. You're going to get there eventually, But if you're obsessed with it, video learning is for you. It's like college. If some people are better online learning, some people are better in a classroom. And no, nothing beats the classroom, but I think it's a great supplement to have. And yeah, I went on a long tangent, but I really believe in technology. And some people give me weird looks, and I say it's not replacing the classroom, but you can't go back now. It does, even when we get the vaccine, you can't go back now. Online learning, online seminars, it's gonna be good. There's no overhead anymore. You don't have overhead. You don't have to rent out a space. You can literally teach it from your garage.
Or if anything, you could just have it as a recruiting tool. People try it out. A lot of people are kind of nervous to go into the gym. You know, they don't know if somebody's going to try and rip their head off. But this way, they've seen the movements. They've seen everybody's faces. Yeah, I mean, it's a supplement, right? It's not a replacement. You can never replace actually sparring with somebody. I mean, you'll never, and it never should do that. But you can be a little bit smarter about your sparring from what you see.
Yes, you can. You can watch your. I always thought instructors should treat their clients like baseball stats. Like every week, email them. This is what you need to work on. Just like you're reviewing an MMA matchup. Like bend your knees a little bit here, and just email it to them. Send it like an email.
Okay.
That's the world I see.
We're gonna have a new series, The Future According to Ben, and we'll get we'll get Christopher
let's come
Walken
back
and...
in 1 year. No, I want this. At least we'll keep doing it. I'll keep calling in and doing this. I say 1 year from now, let's check in and we'll review this and see, wow, what did he get? And man, what is he? Oh, you were so off base.
I think VR Jiu-Jitsu, man, people are going to have collars around their necks and get choked.
Yes, exactly.
Or like hyper extension on their arms. So
like, I don't know what Jiu-Jitsu could do with it. I think more of kickboxing and what, I mean, you already have Fruit Ninja where you're slicing the fruit with the imaginary swords. So why not transfer that to sticks? Hell, I'm interested to see where tactical gunfighting goes with the VR. Because nobody talks about the Oculus anymore. So I'm kind of wondering what the new thing is right now.
I'm sorry, the what? The Oculus?
No one talks. Yeah, like no one's really talking about VR headsets anymore. So like I said, I could be way off base because nobody's talking about it anymore.
Yeah, I actually am pretty ignorant of it. I always thought it looked cool, but I'm probably way behind the curve.
No, I had a tech friend. He dedicated a room just to playing with the VR because you can walk around. It's so beautiful. I'm like I said, I don't know what's going on, but I think it's a good thing to look into.
You think they're just kind of scared that it's going to replace their real lives, so they don't want people to know about it? Because once we're all in VR, why are we going to do anything until we run out of food?
I would say, who cares? Like, if that's the new way it goes, why like what's the harm? Like, what's the real harm? I mean, think about it. People say, what if people get fat? We have nanobots that are going to eat the fat and cellulite. You don't think, Wally was wrong. You don't think that somebody will invent a system so you can eat whatever you want? Or I've seen, and check this out in Japan, you can trick your taste buds to it's any drink you want. So you just spark your tongue and you drink water and it tastes like lemonade. So if you think about it, you can trick people into eating healthy if their brains think it tastes good.
Yeah, I mean, there's possibilities.
Yeah, with nanobots we're going to be so lazy because of nanotech.
Well, not to even mention the hologram prostitutes that Blade Runner promised us.
Yes. Oh, I can't.
They promised us, but not yet.
Well, no. Well, you have OnlyFans. It's close enough.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I have to cut this short because we just walked to the pizza place and like they're looking at us funny, talking about cyber prostitutes. So I'm gonna have to cut this short.
Okay, we'll have to talk about real prostitutes next time.
Yes, we definitely will. See, I'm calling in every week until you get sick of me.
All right, Ben. Well, you have a good day, man, and we'll be in touch.
Oh, brother. I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.